I'm like, you take everything. I don't know. They see anything and everything as a threat. Like, okay, like they gotta they gotta be like always on that mode. Like shade mode and whatever. Like, oh my God, life is too damn short. I mean, they're still there. They're still there. There's one that she always used to be on television and like with the BS. I mean, total prostitute. Always, promoting politicians and stuff, and a darling. She's a darling of the politicians. I'm like, that's not what I want. I mean, like, you can have all that, and just remember that karma is a bitch. You appointed yourself as a spokesperson, but I mean, a spokesperson for what? For transgenders. Not for transsexuals. It's like, oh hell no, they don't want transsexuals. I remember, I mean, not close friend, but I mean, she told me one day, there was this HIV magazine. They call her, to be in the cover and tell her story, but they was gonna put transgenders. She said, no, I'm transsexual. I'm like, oh, okay, so bye. And they brought in a transsexual. She's a transsexual. She got her surgery. She cut it off, but they just turned her down, even for an HIV magazine. Come on, that's how transparent they don't promote. At least getting your surgery and not be like, because it is shocking. Come on, it is shocking. I found a couple. And she actually told me, like, because I told her, because she told me actually, I heard you got your surgery. They're always like that. I heard you got your surgery, or what? Some of them they say, I heard you wanted to have your, like, all my life. I did get it. Like, oh, not me, in front of the boyfriend or husband, whatever. Like, I was like, oops. I mean, it's just crazy, like. I mean, keep telling me that's not gay, but that's gay. It's gay too. I mean, like, come on. It's very specific, like, what's her name? That gross doctor. Let me see if I can play her. Okay, I think I found it.
One simple tinnitus hack anyone can use to improve their hearing almost overnight.
Dr. Grossman, thanks for talking to us. You're a psychiatrist, medical doctor, and you've done a lot of work in child psychiatry. What is transgenderism from a psychiatric standpoint?
The best way to approach it is by speaking about gender dysphoria, which is an intense loathing and discomfort with one's biological sex. They exist anywhere between 1 in 30,000 people and 1 in 110,000. It's important to distinguish those people from what's happening much more recently, which is kids that never had any discomfort or dysphoria, as it's now called, with their biological sex. And then quite suddenly, as preteens or as adolescents, they come out and they announce that they are gender fluid, or they start to question their sex. So first, let's define the terms, sex and gender.
Yes, please.
Sex is biology. Sex is unchanging.
You just feel very like, I'm gonna make a video. I haven't finished watching the documentary. I don't know if I'm going to, but it's like, come on, always. And people like, this is why I'm so hated, because, you know, like, I point out the obvious. I like to point out the obvious, you know, like how it's always the same whites. You know, whites is always the ones who get to say, you know, what's gender. Guys, the whites are the ones who get to say, you know, oh, what is this, what is that, and that's it. But they got no moral authority. They are crazy AF. They are like, I mean, how valid it is, but, you know, I play them because, you know, people, they're so used to the slave master, you know, like, I gotta wait and see what the slave master got to say about that, you know. And I mean, just look around. The world keep getting worse and worse and worse. There's nobody else to blame but whites. They keep saying that, oh no, everybody, yo, you got agency. No, we don't have agency. Nobody got agency but them. Through their secret societies, through their bullshit, through their, you know, megalomanism, whatever. Through their, you know, self-importance, always, you know. And that guy, you know, he took it upon himself to decide, you know, who is right, who's wrong. Once again, the ones who say that my ancestors was not human, that it was only like 2/3 of a human. You think I'm gonna forget that? The ones who say that our African brothers and sisters wasn't human either, that they was monkeys. I mean, like, now they're the ones pontificating. I mean, like, you know, it's just cringe and more cringe, you know. But anyway, so I want to say, you know, she is a coward too, you know, because she didn't say, you know, like, well, we went from transsexualism. She says she wanted to say, like, she's badass. Oh yeah, because, you know, I call it biological sex, blah 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 blah. You know, same like Trump. You know, he became a hero because he started calling us illegals, blah 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 blah. You know, illegal this, illegal that. Oh, that's so refreshing. No, because you cannot say undocumented. No, we cannot say that we destroy their countries, and now they got no other choice than to flee their own country, because the Neanderthals destroy, you know, the whole planet, and they are promoting, you know, mass migration, you know, and whatnot, you know, because that's what they do, you know, chaos. They go order out of chaos, order out of chaos. They first create the chaos for what? Then to do their laws. Oh, I got the solution. It's the same thing, you know, feudalism, the Middle Ages, you know, like, if anybody wanted to say, you know, hey, you know, this is so abusive, you know, we're working every day, we get no salary, we get nothing, but, you know, the landlord would say, well, I give you protection, and people will get fed up and start to you know, rebel, or to not rebel, but to leave the landlord, and then he will hire, you know, people like the Kaisers and stuff to come scare everybody, and they will go back to the castle, right? Oh, please, let us go back. You know, you're right, and that was it. It's the same thing, the same tactic. You know what, like 500 years later, and they're still doing the same thing. They never changed the tricks, the crackery. It's always the same, you know, like, oh no, like, you know, that's what they do. They love chaos. They love, you know, right? They got all the guns. They got all the guns. They were like saying, yeah, whatever, bring it, you know. And they got license to kill. They got license, you know, like, well, what are all the laws that they call that the ones with they use with Trayvon Martin, that even when that, you know, small hat was chasing him with a gun, you know, they applied that law because he said he was defending himself when he was doing the chasing. I mean, like, you know, it's good to be white, mighty whitey, you know. Wally is something else. But we are supposed to keep quiet and don't speak up about, you know, this insanity, you know. And now, you know, like the gentleman that approached me at the beach, I don't remember him. It's like, he doesn't remember me. I don't know why. Of course he remembered me. I mean, like, he got like a $3 million, supposedly $3 million house in the Rockaways. So, like, I mean, like, they pump up the prices. That shit is a dump, you know. I mean, that little peninsula, I mean, like, come on. It's not worth that much, but anyway, so that's why they don't want us over there. That's like, okay, no, it's like, you know, if my house is worth that much, you know, then I have the right to decide who come around. But nope. First of all, the beach that I go to is a federal beach. And I stay always at the border, so they don't even have to, they got no jurisdiction, because from 149th Street, what is that, east, that's the city, that's a city beach. 149th Street over here, then that's a federal beach. So it's like, come on, it's just like, but they always, you know, calling the police and whatever. And I mean, they I mean, most of the times, you know, the gays, yeah, out of control, yeah. So, but I mean, like, it just, they knew that beach was there when they bought the house. I've been going to that beach for like, what, like 20, I forgot how many years. Let me see if I can play the video of the gentleman. I don't, he knew I was recording. He kept talking like he wanted to be recorded.
It's going to be a shithole because they're losing the tax base.
Listen, where's the $32 trillion? We got $32 trillion missing. We got wiped out. We should be outraged, protesting. Where's our money? It's in Switzerland. It's in, you know, all those banks offshore. Yeah, it's no good sound. Listen, that's the debt.
Oh, that's the debt.
You didn't even know that?
Where's the $32 trillion? You know how much is $1 trillion? The first 40
and it was
presidents,
no good sound.
they took $1.1 trillion.
It is no good sound, but he was crying. He was like, oh my God, it's like, you know, this is going to hell or whatever you're like. And I wanted to say, you know, hey, you know, how much shit you allow in the name of white supremacy? Because you think it's like you can, you know, I mean, they like the perks. They love the whole thing. They're not victims. They're no, by any stretch of the imagination. It's the same thing over and over again. You know, I never been to East Palestine in Ohio. I never been there, but I can tell you that, you know, they like, you know, I mean, obviously they voted for Trump, whatever. That's what Biden say, whatever, you know, and whatnot. But even before that, I mean, like all this stuff that they are bringing out right now, you know. I mean, it's not right now. I mean, but right now it seemed like now it's getting wider and wider, you know. It used to be like, yeah, they made documentaries. They like in Rumble. In Rumble, they got documentaries from, you know, 10, 15, or maybe like 20 something years, you know. But you know, those there was air, I guess, on television, and you know, that was very ephemeral. You know, I mean, if you had a VCR and you recorded it, then you can keep it, but then you cannot really share it as easy like today. Like I can send you a link, and like, oops, you seen these? So there was not, as far as I know, there was no real outrage or anything to expose like the Pizza, you know, Pizza people, Podestas and shit, you know, like that, you know, like it was not that urgency, like, and it's not even that urgency right now because they could, you know, like, I know it's very, very difficult to actually talk about, expose this without sounding crazy, and that's what they're banking on. They're banking on, like, you know, you don't want to say, like, you know, like I was just telling you about the butterfly and the whatever, the Ultra, you know, television program. It is really hard to believe, but then, you know, there's so much evidence, you know, like when they put all these celebrities, you know, talking about their multiple personalities and the mishaps, you know, like they put the one with Beyonce when she's like, she's in the basketball game and she's like, she go like that. Oh, shit is so bad. It's like, wow, she's like singing like, in her world, like, la, la. I mean, totally broken. She's having one of her, you know, I don't know about the eyes like this, you know, like they go like that. I don't know, but that's part of it. I don't know. I don't know what that is, but you know, it is like Britney. Britney was like, okay, so how else you gonna explain, you know, those episodes? How long ago was that? I was still watching television back then, not as much, but I was like, when she went with the umbrella, and I'm like, oh my God, Ella, and I mean, it's just like, it's just not the only one. Anna Nicole Smith, I mean, like, you know, just a train wreck. Whitney Houston, I mean, she used to get kicked out of crack houses. Like they say, you know, how do you get kicked out of a crack house? Smoking crack, and like, you get kicked out. That's what Wendy Williams used to say when she used to be on the radio. She said that. And then Bobby had to go back to the crack house because she left her teeth in there. This is crazy shit. Really, really, really crazy shit. But, you know, the small hat, you know, Clive Davis is like, you gotta record another song, another record. With horrendous results, you know. She went to Central Park. She went to sing in Central Park for, you know, that Channel 7, whatever. And she like, what? And it's just like, I don't know, she did it on purpose because she was like, you know, she was like, oh no, but she always had to go to his birthday party and perform like a slave, you know, like, oh, this song is for you, Clive Davis, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you know, like, slave master right there, and like, come on, you know. And her daughter died the same way in a bathtub. I mean, like, it's like, oh no, it's normal. It's normal for the crackers. It's normal. All that shit is normal. Oh, yeah, shit happened. Where? everybody, like, like, I mean, I heard, recently, I didn't know because, like I say, I've been disconnected for at least 10 years, 10 to 12 years. And so, the last thing I saw, like Paris Hilton, was when she used to have that show with the other one, the BFF, like Be My BFF, kind of thing. Now I say BFF and people look at me like, they don't say BFF no more. Okay. They say she had a meltdown too. I don't know. I don't care. Not that I give a damn, like, but they say she had a meltdown too. It was all like, and then now they're putting the pictures with Lindsay Lohan, French kissing her. I don't know if I saw that. I don't think I saw. I think I might have even saw that on Entertainment Tonight, but they just probably the way they said it or whatever. I don't know. But they said they used to be in the clubs and they used to. I'm like, like the Pilgrims. They say they used to just sleep together. Everybody with a piece of wood separating them. Of course, the piece of wood was like siblings and parents. It's a true story. This is a true story. I mean, like, this is why, there's so many problems, I was going to say something. Okay, it is the inbreds. They've been called the inbreds, right? I mean, like the Queen Elizabeth II. I mean, she got 2 sisters, inbreds. I think they died already, but she used to have them. Everybody they used to be all hemophiliacs. When I was little, they said like, oh my God, it's just that, they all suffer from hemophilia. And like, why? And I found out, why? Because inbreds, right? Because they don't trust nobody. That's one aspect, like, so they marry your mom, marry your sister, marry your daughter. You go like, what? And then the results are devastating, disastrous. They're like, rednecks, skinheads, wow, it's just, whew, but I don't know where because I know that it's like a virus. It's like a cancer, like, don't give a damn. You're like destroying themselves. They're destroying themselves too, They are not happy. They're always complaining about something. I know, I see them in the park over here. They're walking around, always miserable. And I know that's just like transference, right? It's not that the chicken salad wasn't really good at that restaurant. It's just something else. It's like I say, transference. But I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I mean, like, it's just like, I mean, that's what I wanted to say, actually. I wanted to say that they don't give a damn. Unrepentant. unrepentant, it's not like, oh, there wasn't children this year. No, there was children. There was like, a lot of skin, a lot of, like whatever, and let me see, I don't know if I have the picture. Was it with this where I took it? There you go. I mean, like, I know one day they're gonna probably regret it once they grow up, and they're gonna say, like, we perform where? How? It must be like 12, right? Let's see if we can see it. I mean, I took it from far away. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, I had to make like a split decision. I was like, in a moment, like I said, like, oh my God. And then people, they don't believe it. They don't believe it. And you see the flag, like, which is an African flag, the flag of the chakras, right? I mean, they don't call it like gay pride; they call it pride. It's just pride. They are in charge of pride. They control the pride, Whew. It's and I think it's only the beginning, because that's usually when the more politicized it gets, just supposedly there's been some corporations that they are backing down from supporting them, but most of them I got to see yesterday. I was downtown. Everybody was like, salute. We salute the bleep. They got like Schwab, like that satanic Charles Schwab, whatever. Because there's nothing more satanic than the banking industry. They had, who else I saw? And they got billboards. They got billboards downtown. I was in Midtown too, because I went with a friend to the Mexican consulate, and I went to take a friend there. And then after that, I went to acupuncture, because I've been having this pain in my lower column. It's just scary as hell. And why? It was like, for nothing. It's been there like 5 days. It's a section like this, right in the middle of my column. It's just tender, I touch it and it's tender. And like, for what? I didn't do anything. Like, I don't know. They got a little better, but like she said, oh, come back in a week or two, like get another treatment. Like, I don't know. But she didn't tell me what they suspect it is. The supervisor, her teacher came, and I mean, if anything, they do great work, like it's holistic. So even if they decide that, they're not gonna target whatever they target what they think that causes, you know, the causes. You know, they just make you healthier because they got well, they got definitely different parameters than the West. You know, they look at your tongue, look at your eyes, look at, you know, and especially the pulse. She kept saying that pulse is like deep and slow, and like, well, like oops, oh my God. But I feel great. I feel great. I mean, it's always been like that. My pulse. They always like they take my pulse and like. They got a lot of words to describe it. I forgot all the words that they describe my pulse. And yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Now I'm crashing again. I'm glad I didn't go to the gym. I'm going tomorrow. You know, I need a day off. And, you know, I'm taking it easy at the gym. It's only been like, I've been only there. How many times? Like 6 times. But, you know, I mean, I feel better. I feel definitely better, you know. Especially you feel like, oh, you accomplished something, and but your legs get stronger. Because that's mostly what I do. I do legs, and to make sure, you know, try to do a lot of exercises for my knees and stuff. So. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, right? Everybody's, you know, wondering about 2024 elections. What surprise? It's like a show, you know. What surprise they got now in store? What surprise? Another January 6th. You know, not be surprised, because they're still milking it for all it's worth. It's like, oh my God, it's just the event. No, for me the most, if they tell me what's the most significant event, it was like, well, shutting down the United States president's social media. That is like, wow, the most ratchet, you know, you can do. I mean, like, coming back, it's like military. Oh, it's a plane, it's a jet. It's so cloudy, it's so overcast that it's all chemtrails. It's all chemicals. Shit is shameful, you know. Like, what happened to the new generations? Why aren't they protesting? Why aren't they, like, you know? When you got a little beam. Something. The silence of the lambs. Yeah, I'm kind of like making peace that I'm probably not going to be going again to the beach this summer. Well, I'm hoping again in September, because last year that's what happened. September finally it got like warmer, sunny, and I got to go like 4 times in September, so I felt like, okay, well, at least I recharge my batteries for the rest of the year, you know. Meaning taking sunlight. You know, but That's it. I gotta let it go. I mean, like I was refusing to wear a coat, but I say no. I should not be wearing a coat because it's June. You know, what the hell? I'm not gonna wear a coat. I got tired of freezing my ass. Here I am. Here I jam. Here I jam. I just feel so sorry for the future generations, you know. I want to leave them a message saying, you know, we're sorry. We're sorry we're letting them down. Because they're gonna be slaves. I mean, like literally slaves. I mean, people are already saying that shit is happening in the hospitals, you know. When the babies are born, they're getting slipped stuff. I will not be surprised. I will not be surprised. Let me play you this one about, like, speaking of children, you know. I hope it's not too long. How long is it? I forgot. I cut it off.
Let this soft mineral melt in your mouth to rebuild your gums and teeth, and never need a dentist again. People are
Celeb, you know, as in to celebrate. They are celebrated people. Let me say that again. Celebrated people. These people that you're looking at right now, at least according to our society, are supposed to be respected and admired. But here's an important distinction. These people are not on these stages because the world celebrates them. No, it's that the world celebrates them because they're the people that are on the stage. And you know, as far as the kids are concerned, all they want to do is just fit in and be accepted. You know, they're not creating this culture. No, the attitudes and behaviors that we see demonstrated by the youth is actually just a direct reflection of the influence that this trash has had on them. And while it is true that it's the parents who bear the responsibility to protect their children from these terrible influences, in these last days, it's becoming increasingly more difficult to shelter your children from this propaganda. I mean, the bus driver will be playing this music as they drive to school. The bus will then pass by numerous billboards, you know, and advertisements promoting sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And then at school, all the kids are going to be talking about it. And then the school is going to send your kid home with a whole bunch of homework to do so that they're too busy to spend any quality time with you. And so now, instead of your child learning the values and knowledge that you might regard as important throughout the week, he or she will instead be subjected to the state-approved curriculum, you know, at a government-funded building that a big school bus will literally drive them to, which might include things like, hey kids, did you know that you could buy condoms at any age? Or did you know that you don't need your parents' permission to have an abortion? And so even at school, the teachers are just regurgitating the same narrative that the kids are already hearing from their favorite pop stars, you know, and on YouTube and their favorite cartoons and TV programs and the whole entertainment industry. And so when will you people realize that this whole system is working in concert against God and against you? It's becoming inescapable. And I keep thinking about this new normal that we keep hearing about. And I gotta say, as a guy with a pretty fair balance of conservative and liberal friends, nobody likes this new normal stuff. But that doesn't really matter to the ruling class, because they know that they can't teach an old dog new tricks, you know. And besides, we're all gonna die off within the next 50 years anyways. No, it's the youth. The new normal is for the youth, you know, because they grew up in these conditions, so they're used to it. They're gonna be used to it. This world is all they've known. And that's
the most important part. It's not about us. They don't care about us. It's like if we catch it, I mean, like, they know we are rejecting it. They know we're not. But a child, you know, those that, you know, that the mom don't know how to keep him, you know, quiet. You know, the mom is struggling to pacify the children, and they go like, okay, so here is a phone. I know it's got an innocent video game, but it's so normalized, you know. I've seen how some of the young ones, they use the cell phone. They don't even touch the screen, and they go like, what? And with me, I have to like, you don't listen to me. You don't listen to me, like, you know, like I click and like, I don't know, maybe I'm just exaggerating, I don't know, but I just feel like and when I see the children, it's just like, it look like an extension of them. They go like, they put it out like a magician, and for me, I'm like, I mean, I don't know, it's just, we'll see where all these end up, but, you know, there's so much stuff that I don't know, and so much stuff that a lot of people don't know, because we don't know what they're watching. We leave them alone, and then they go and like, they go around the children, and I mean the teenagers especially, they go like, you know, this world, blah blah blah, they don't understand, this is what's happening. It's like, well, it's happening in your phone, but it don't mean that it's happening. And I think it's gonna take a while before they make that connection, that, you know, yes, the Weather Channel app is saying that it's raining, but it's outside, it's sunny and nice and warm, you know, so it's and that's about everything. That's about everything is the same. They tell you, you know, oh, the Federation, you know, just it want to rule the whole world. The Federation want to conquer the whole world. Is that true? Because they don't have military bases like we do. We have more than 900 military bases throughout the whole world. We have 8 in Colombia, small country, 8. You know, and we have, I mean, we still have in Japan, we still have military bases in Japan. We got, you know, so it's easy to see who really have imperialistic tendencies or whatever, plans, not tendencies, because it's like, shit, it's like, come on, 900 US military bases. Germany is still occupied, you know, but you wouldn't know it because they're like, oh, it's so cocky, like, oh, we are the shit. It's like, no, you ain't the shit. You are their biatch. You are their biatch. What are you talking about? I don't know. But, you know, that's the mind of the whites. You know, it's embarrassing right now, you know, to see Europe, where they had all these empires, where they used to brag, you know, oh, the sun never set on my empire. I got so much land and blah 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 blah. And now, bitch, you don't even have gas. Bitch, you cannot even pay your electric bill. Spain, like, it's embarrassing shit. Embarrassing. You slay people. You destroy the whole planet, and now you're broke. Actually, one time somebody said like, oh, you know what you shouldn't be talking about, you know how many Spaniards are starving? Like, it's none of my problem. It's none of my problem. They signed their soul to they sold their soul to the devil, you know. They made their bed and they have to lay in it. It's the same thing with, you know, I mean, was the guy that they kidnapped again, you know, Gonzalo Lira, you know, the journalist. He got kidnapped again. He got arrested, whatever. Um, and he was like, oh my God, it's so sad in Ukraine, like, what's happening? Like, come on. They made their bed, they gotta lay on it. They was, shameless Nazis. I mean, there's tons of videos and pictures, Nazi salute the children, teaching the children from early age that they are superior, that they are this, and I mean, what's his name, Bandera, the number one icon. I mean, they're trying to sanitize him, but he still was a Hitler collaborator, and I mean, right next to the Federation. Right next to the Federation. I mean, imagine us as Mexicans that we go and, whatever you think, like right next to the border with the United slaves. Would you be shocked when we know that the United slaves are already telling us that we are their bitch? I mean, we are not, especially not now. That's why they're so angry. That's why you have Miss Lindsey Graham, always threatening us. That Narco, Rubio, all of them, Ted Cruz, you name it. Even AOC saying like, Mexico now is like, Mexico ain't shit, Mexico this, Mexico that, blah, 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 like. Oh, but it's all through diplomacy. It's all diplomacy, something that the United States seem to understate, seem to underestimate, like the power of diplomacy. That's everything we have achieved is through diplomacy in Latin America. Everybody, Venezuela and everything is like, you gotta invest a huge diplomatic team and and sort it out and make alliances and make there's no way we're going to be confrontational with a psychopath. There's no effing way that's going to happen. So we have to find ways, we have to find resources, but one thing is for sure, like we told the United States government many times, because they want to come into Mexico with their military, with their secret agents and blah blah blah, and we said it's okay as long as we can do exactly the same thing right here in the United States. And they say no. If it's not symmetric, if we're not going to have a symmetric relationship with the empire, I mean, like, we cannot. And that's one of the most contagious. That's why they're making up, a lot of false flag operations, saying that in Mexico they are their own people. But to set us up, you say, oh, they killed 2 Americans that they don't even give a damn about. If they care about Americans, it would be like the veterans, especially, they will be so taken care of. And I know veterans that they're like homeless still. It's shameful. It is shameful. So don't tell me that they care about Americans when they go over there to Mexico and they're like, because they still have a lot of agents in Mexico. So they trying to create chaos, I mean, it's false flag operations to say like, oh my God, an American, whatever, like they did it before with one of the 3 letters agency guy that got taken down by themselves, and they blamed us in the 80s. I'm like, come on, we know already how they roll. I mean, how they are. It's like, it's not anyway, I mean, like, And they should be very concerned because it's like, there's nowhere to run. I was always in favor of the wall. I mean, or at least two walls, like the wall of China, two of those. Because when the fan get hit over here, we don't want to. We better build our own wall. I mean, we're already getting so many, like just filling out the gas tank. They come to Mexico for the dentist, for plastic surgery, for this and that, and they still talking shit about us. That shit gotta end up. Gotta end. We're not gonna be like. I mean, come on. It's supposed to be the #1 superpower, and we getting these crackers. Because you're coming, to buy drugs and medications. Whatever. And like, because they cannot afford it over here. And they are even setting them up their own pharmacies and everything down there. I mean, obviously covert. They always do that because they're cowards. They're cowards. It's not not always about they're gonna be like Japan, dropping 2 atomic bombs. No. They know that they already dropped 2 atomic bombs, so they have to find other ways to suppress you, to keep you down. Anyway, I'm going home. I'm going back home. I don't know what I'm gonna have for dinner. I don't know. Oops. But I want to recover, so I want to go tomorrow morning to the gym. Hopefully have a good workout. And that's about it. But I don't even know. I don't even know what had to come out. I wish I can come out with ways that I could, I'm not gonna say activate, but but I think there's so many of us that we want to shake people up, like, listen,